And now I'm here on an amazing party. Thanks for organizing and enjoying some drinks, enjoying nice conversations with different people.
Oh, it's been really nice. It's just, like-minded people, beautiful venue.
I think the Byzantine team itself is pretty unique.
It's pretty cool. I live in San Francisco, so almost everybody has an ICO or a blockchain project.
I sat through a couple of talks and I thought the CZ from Binance talk was extremely impressive. That guy's always been pretty humble and straightforward when it comes to speaking in public, and I had a lot of respect for what he's done with a company that raised $18 million, I think, during their ICO. And I'm super excited what Binance is doing in general. So that was my favorite talk of the day.
It's a little bit of a different vibe than what I expected, I guess, in terms of purely the conference. It was rather dry, but it works in tandem with the current market sentiment, I guess. But all the enthusiasm and the passion around it is cool.
So, I think too many people are still lying or making this world better than it is. At the moment, there is a down market. Finding investment at the moment as an ICO is very difficult. It's challenging, of course, because the markets are down. Utility tokens are something where, for example, professional investors like VCs, they have their problems, either from a regulatory point of view. Like, for example, if you go to Korea, they are by law not allowed to invest into utility instruments. In other countries, like in Europe or in the US, for example, it all depends on the limited partnership agreement you are having with your limited partners. And there it has to be stated that utility tokens are actually allowed.
I think the time of ICOs has just started.
Okay.
I think ICOs will happen for a really long time.
Okay.
I think the time for fundraising has to change. I don't think every ICO should fundraise. I think so this is what ICOs mean to me. ICOs to me mean innovation. They mean entrepreneurs doing fabulous things in the space. And it doesn't mean fundraising in the back of my head. Like, for me, an ICO raising money for selling tokens makes very little sense at the end of the day. But I kind of feel that it's extremely important for people to understand that tokens can be pretty interesting, can have a utility, can have a value without being sold right at the beginning of an idea.
It's important to take incremental steps to sort of test out a new thing, and then test out a new thing, and test out a new thing. I recognize that there are sophisticated people who are really smart, really understand cryptography, understand the tech, who want us to go from point A to point C. And that's exciting too. That was one of the things that got me into the space, was just the ultimate vision. But practically speaking, I'm really excited about security tokens because I sort of see them as an incremental step in the right direction.
I think that's nice. The second thing I'm definitely looking forward to is the evolution or the evolutionary process from ICOs towards STOs. Because ICOs, utility tokens, they will definitely always be a topic, but I think there will be a niche market for platforms and for infrastructure products. Whereas all the businesses that are based on the blockchain, which integrate the blockchain into their business model, they will probably consider an STO, because investors then are looking actually for revenues, for profits, and that's what you can perfectly do with the security token.
Just a lot more. So the cool thing about these bear markets is that a lot of people are unhappy because of their short-term financial situation, I guess. But most of the innovation actually happens in the bear market. It's actually something that I heard Brock Pierce say over and over again during some previous events, which I think is really true. And all the people out here right now that are still, you still see, even though the market is pretty down right now, that there's a lot of there's a big community that's still excited about innovation, and I think all the people you see right now during these events are people that are actually willing to create and establish a better ecosystem for 2019. So there's a lot of awesome projects being built, and I'm excited for that.
One thing that really excites me is the fact that the amount of innovators and entrepreneurs and people doing things in this space is going to increase. Like, just because the market is down doesn't mean innovation should stop. And innovation cannot stop just because you need to raise $30 million.
I think the problem we are having at the moment in the crypto market is that the traditional money is not yet entering the crypto space. I mean, that's something where I think like the true believers of blockchain, of anarchy and so on, maybe even like it, because it's still like a niche thing about blockchain enthusiasts. But I think for the market in general, if you consider it as an asset class, it's very important that like the traditional money actually enters the space. The answer is, I think a lot of traditional vehicles like ETFs, ETNs, AIFs and other certificates will get ready. They will get the approval from the regulator, and I think that way actually by the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019 we will see a lot of traditional money actually entering the space, because people with a bank account can now invest into crypto just from their brokerage.
Yeah, what I'm really excited about is security tokens, right? I'm from the US. I'm an ex-lawyer. I come from traditional finance. I used to work at Goldman. I used to work for the White House, so I'm very much like somebody who comes from some of the more mainstream, like corners of our society, and I look at crypto and I look at blockchain, and I'm super excited about the potential to marry these two.